Hi, welcome back to Common Core 1.1 Part I for I Like It. Okay. Now, this is where we stopped, obviously, last time because I wrote the word stop. So let's take a look at this example here. Now, I know why I stopped. Because if you notice, when we have a mixed numeral fraction, it could take, 8 minus 3, which makes 5, but that leaves us a problem. We have 2 minus 4, and you know you can't take 2 minus 4. Now, to understand this, I'm going to go ahead and use some old stuff we've done here. Well, we haven't done it before, but you've done it in your past. When you have something like 32, say, minus 18. You were taught way back when to go to the farthest right number and subtract first. But the problem is 2 minus 8. Well, you can't take 2 minus 8, so you have to borrow. Since this is in the 1s and this is in the 10s, you take 1 away, 3 becomes 2, and this becomes a 12. Now, I want to explain why. Imagine you had 32 cents, okay? And let's say you had 3 dimes and 2 pennies. You could exchange 1 dime for 10 more pennies here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And notice how you'd still have 20 cents, and now you'd have 12 pennies, which makes 12 cents. Thereby, it's still 32. You simply exchanged a dime for 10 new sets of pennies. Well, in that same way, we're going to exchange a tens and take a tens away and add 10 more singles. In that same way, if you exchanged a $10 bill for 10 ones. Now, I know for a lot of you this is boring review, so I'm going to try to hurry through this, but some of you might be a little rusty, and that's why we're doing this one time. So, we took this 3 and made it 2, and turned this 2 into a 12. Now, 12 minus 8 is 4, and 2 minus 1, well, is 1. So, 32 minus 18 is 14. Well, the same logic applies here. I can't take 2 minus 4, but the thing to understand is you have a 9 on the bottom. So when I take away this 8 and turn it into 7, think of like my token example again, that if I can get 9 tokens for $1, I go ahead and turn in $1 to get 9 new tokens. Okay, I had 2 tokens, and I'm going to add 9 more to it. So I have a big 7 still, and 2 plus 9 is 11, and it's still over 9. Minus 3 and 4/9. Now you take 11 minus 4, and that gives you 7, still over 9. Big 7 minus big 3 makes 4. Now I'm going to zoom through all what I would have had gone slowly through. Notice how I said 2 minus 4 doesn't work. So you have to borrow. So okay, I borrow from the 8. Cash in at 8, turn it into a 7, gets another 9 tokens. 2 plus 9 is 11, then 11 minus 4 is 7, 7 minus 3 is 4. Hopefully it's good. You try, go ahead. Okay, let's see how you did. Notice how I cashed in. No, excuse me, there are 2 of them. Excuse me, there are 2. Go ahead this time, begin. Okay, let's take a look here. 3 is smaller than 13, so I cash in and make 10. Add 24 to 3, which makes 27. 1 and 13 over 24. 27 minus 13 is 14 over 24. 10 minus 1 is 9. Now all I have to do is take 14 and 24 and divide by 2 to get 7 over 12. And hopefully you got 9 and 7 12. If you got 9 and 14 over 24, that's good. If you got 9 and 7 over 12, you're epic. 5 minus 11 can't work. Cash in the 12 for an 11. I get 12 of them, so 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 over 12. And then 3 and 11 over 12. Alright, well, 17 minus 11 is 6 over 12. 11 minus 3 is 8. Now, yeah, I know I was going to take 6 and 12 and make 1/2, but do one thing at a time. Do this first, then do the big number, then reduce. That way you don't get confused and miss something. It's very easy to get crossed up in math if you try to do more than one thing at a time. Every time I show you something, it is always one thing at a time, and keep it simple. And if you do that, this math will not be a problem. Skills practice. Go ahead this time. Try these 2. Let me move them up for you. Go ahead, pause this time. Let's see how you did. Hopefully you got the following. This here turns into this, which turns into this, which turns into this. This guy turns into this guy, which turns into this guy. Hope you got both right. Adding, subtracting, unlike fractions. Okay. Now I know there's 1,000 different ways to do this. Factor trees and this and that, and least common multiple and greatest common factor, and etc. KISS rule. I'm going to keep it simple. You simply have to find where 2 and 3 meet. Now the first way, you can simply run out 2's, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Notice how the first time they meet is at the 6. This is called the least common multiple. And all that least common multiple means is when's the first time they're going to meet. They're going to meet a lot. 2 and 3 are going to meet at 6. They're going to meet at 12. They're going to meet at 18, 24, etc. But the very first time they meet is at 6. Now, if you don't know what number can be divided by 2 and 3, you can always just multiply the two. You can always just take the two bottom numbers and multiply, and they'll definitely meet there. Will they meet somewhere else beforehand? True, they will. Sometimes, not always. But if you're not sure, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to multiply the bottoms and see what I get, and that will work. So, okay, to make the bottoms equal 6, all you have to do is, okay, since 2 times 3 equals 6, I have to take the bottom times 3. If you take the bottom times 3, you take the top times 3. So times 3 times 3. Remember, as long as you do it to the bottom and the top, you're fine. So, okay, 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. In other words, 1/2 equals 3/6. Okay. And in that same way, to turn 3 into 6, I have to times the bottom by 2. But if you times the bottom by 2, you times the top by 2. So, okay, 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 2 is 2. So I have 3, 6, and 2, 6. So now 1/2 times 3, 6 is 3, 6. That's not supposed to be a time. It's supposed to be a plus, by the way. Excuse me there. So basically, okay, so I have now 1/2 plus 1/3 becomes 3, 6 plus 2, 6. The bottoms are the same. We don't add the bottoms. Remember, when you're adding a fraction, you're just adding the top. So, okay, 3 plus 2 is 6. And here's why. You have 3 that's being divided by 6. And 2 that's being divided by 6. They're both being divided by 6, so just take 3 plus 2 and make 5, and it's still being divided by 6. Hopefully that makes sense. You try. Go ahead this time. Let's see how you did. 2/5 plus 1/3. 2/5 and 1/3. The bottom 5 and 3 are going to meet at 15. So what we're going to do is 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 5 is 5, not 1. I don't know what I was thinking there. We're going to change this. Thank goodness I actually looked. 6 plus 5 is 11 over 15. So I hope you got that. Sorry about the confusion there. But hey, I can mess up too. Skills practice. I've got 6 of them, so I'm going to have you pause it twice. Go ahead and try these 4. Remember, separate sheet, piece of paper, extra credit if you wish. Easy to get extra credit in my class. Go ahead and pause it this time. And now try the other 2. Pause. Let's see how you did. Number 1, 17 over 35. Number 2, 17 over 36. Number 3, 7 over 9. Number 4, 5 over 12. Oh, kids, you have to reduce. Okay, that makes sense. Number 5 is 32 over 55, and number 6 is 1. Well, the bottoms are the same, so that was really easy. Mixed numbers are the same as well. Mixed numerals, mixed numbers. 4 and 2/5 plus 2 and 1/3. All you have to do is make the 5 and the 3 the same. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to show you one way, and I might show you the other. 4 and 2/5 you can turn into 4 times 5 plus 2, which makes 22 over 5. And 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7 over 3. Then just make the 5 and 3 the same, which is 15, because 5 times 3 makes 15. So I'm going to times the top and bottom by 3, times the top and bottom by 5. And I get 66 over 15 plus 35 over 15. You add the tops together and get 101. Big number. Just take your calculator and take 101 divided by 15. 6.7333333. All I care about is the 6. Big 6, so what's 6 times 15? I get 90. So we're simply going to pick 90 off the 101 and get 11 over 15. I went back through that pretty fast. That's pretty complicated. Don't worry, we'll be doing some in class for practice. You try. Go ahead. Let me see how much we have left here. Not too much. All right. Get a time on this. All right. Getting close. So 1 plus 2, that would be easy, but we're going to make 7 and 8 meet. Now I'll show you the way I showed you before, then I'm going to show you the second way. 1 times 7 is 7 plus 2 is 9, so you get 9 over 7. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 4 is 20. Now 7 and 8 meet at 56, so this is going to be a big one here. Alright, times the bottom by 8, times the top by 8. 72. And then 8 times 7 times 7, which makes 140 over 56. 72 times 140 is going to be 212, I believe. 212, that sounds right, over 56. Now we're going to get a little extreme here, so let me go ahead and get out what I need. Get out the trusty calculator. By the way, since I have it out, let's just take 72 plus 140. Make sure I wasn't crazy. Nope, 212, okay. See, every computer has a calculator too, so if you don't have a calc, there's one right on your computer or on your phone or 100 different places nowadays, and that's fine. So let's take 212 divided by 516. Divided by 56. Good grief. Okay. I get 3.785, blah, 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 blah. All I care about, the first numbers are 3. So all I'm going to do is take a 3 and put equals 3. There's a website, equals 3. 3 times 56. So what you're going to do is, clear that, take 3 times 56 is 168. So, just take 212 minus 168. Oh boy, alright, 212 minus 168. And I get 44 over 56. Now that's fine, but I know they're both even numbers, so I know I can divide by 2. At least. I know actually I can divide by 4, but if you want to go by 2 or 4, it's up to you. I'll divide by 4, divide by 4. Not the 3. 3 stays the same. 44 divided by 4 is 11, and I know that 56 divided by 4 should be 14. So my answer is 3 and 11 over 14. Now, understandably, you look at all this and you're like, that is a lot of work. Okay. I'm going to get ahead of myself and show you the shortcut now. I wasn't going to yet, but I'll show you the shortcut now. I want you to take 2 7s and 4 8s, and I want you to notice that 7 and 8 meet at 56. Now, we did that before. Notice how I'm not going to plug the big numbers in this time. Alright. Times 8, and that makes 16. Times 7 makes 28. Put the 1 here, put the 2 here. Alright. 1 plus 2 is 3. 16 plus 28 makes 44. So 44 out of 56, which I just know I can divide by 4, as I did earlier. 3 and 11 over 14. And that's probably going to save you a lot of time. Is there a system where you need to use the other way? The answer is yes. However, often you can just use the shortcut, and I have no problem with that. Due to time, we're going to do a quick skills practice, and we're going to have to cut this and do another part, which is unfortunate, but it has to happen. So do a quick skills practice. I have 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. Do it. Pause. Drop it down. Try these next 2. Pause. Let's see how you did. For the first one here, I go ahead and combine the bottoms best I can. Actually, 12 over 12 just makes 1. That makes 7, so that's actually pretty easy. 10 and 2/3. Second one. 6 and 14 meet at 42. Now, you may not have got 42. You might have took 6 times 14 and started with, I believe, 84, and that'd be fine too. You just have to divide down. It doesn't matter. You can do it either way. As long as you got 5 and 29 over 42, and yes, I know there's the ABC button in your calculator, which is fine, but again, there is a purpose to this, which you're going to learn in the third installment when I start using letters, as you know I'm going to. And finally, number 3, this guy here. Go ahead and 3 and 4 meet at 12. Add them up as before. Bye-yow. Alright, that's all the time we have for this installment. We're going to do one more installment after this, and we're going to wrap this whole thing up, because I know we've talked about fractions so much that you're about tired of it. Thanks again. Bye.